So the opening weekend of the Premier League served up so much excitement and the sports 101 team is here live at Red Mango Apartments to dissect all the major talking points. If you're watching us and you want to come to Takrady and you're looking for a place to stay, I could better recommend Red Mango Apartment for you. Great scenery, best rooms, and a wonderful ambience.
All right, so Barca's quest to establish themselves as the first to be reckoned with in the La Liga and then the Champions League has seen them actually gamble with their future. I say gamble because they've had to mortgage their assets in exchange for immediate success. That's how I put it. Lucky. Let me find out from you. Could that have been the most viable economic venture they could have embarked on?
Yeah, that's about the most decent economic venture Barca could have embarked on. Now, point of correction, they have not mortgaged their assets. They are only mortgaging just a portion of the asset Barca has. Last year, Barca was rated as the most valuable club in the world, even with all its issues. Now, what Barca have done is just activate some few levers that have got to do with the BLMs. When I say BLMs, I'm talking about the licensing and merchandising. When they signed the deal with Rocketteam, it was under the control of Nike. One good thing Bartomeu did for the club was to take away that control that Nike had over the BLMs and bring it back to the club because of the clauses in the Rocketteam deal. What Barca have done is literally saying that, listen, I'm in debt, I'm struggling financially. I look around me, I have enough of assets. Instead of me going out to borrow money, which will mean it would incur more cost, which will mean that probably I would have to pay loans with interest and all of that. Why don't I go into the asset?
The thing is, I can allow you to hold on. I can allow you to talk and talk and talk. But in the end, that hasn't been the panacea to Barca's woes because as we speak, they are struggling to even register those new players you signed.
Because the money Barcelona need. Now, what they did, literally, is the La Liga is saying that, listen, we want money that is coming from an outside source. The reason why Barca cannot register the players is that Barca actually used 150 million of their own money to supplement the levers that they've sold. La Liga is saying, no, all the money that you are raising should come from an external source, should be generated from an external source. They knew this because already Laporte said we are going to sell 49%. But they wanted to see if the third levers will work. That's why they activated the fourth lever to literally engineer the cash from an external source instead of they putting in their own money of $150 million. Like what I was saying, what more do you want Barcelona to do? We are in debt. Nobody is saying that. Barca is saying that we are in debt, we are struggling. If I go out there to borrow, they will borrow me money, but then it will mean that I will pay the loan with interest. But this time, and let's not forget, they have not sold those assets completely. It's just a partial sale, and there's a clause in there which indicates that after 10 years, Barca can buy back those levers that they've sold even before the 20-year period is over. And I can tell you, in 2015, the only club in Europe to have made profit of 1 billion euros was Barcelona after the Champions League. So for me, it will be easier for Barcelona to take this approach because I can bet you that in the next 5 years, they will be able to generate enough money because success on the pitch equates to success outside.
Okay, that's fine. But Kofi, to want to liberate yourself from all of those financial crises meant that they had to sell off 25% of their domestic TV rights, plus other, engagements they've had to do. But my point is that was it really prudent, if you like, to want to mortgage those assets for immediate success? And I'm saying this because all of those deals Bartomeu had to do is the reason they are having to suffer now. How different is Bartomeu's era from Juan Laporta's era as we speak in terms of
quick one.
engagements they have to do?
Yes, quick one. I think that Lucky needs to be forthright with what it is. The 150 he talks about is shredded in secrecy it was a criminal move. The league blanked it. It was a criminal move. Let's not argue on that. The league says that no. That's why we're trying to be financial, economically. They wanted to be a genius.
Yeah.
The La Liga says no, and they have had to pay an extra fine for that. So I don't want to talk about the 150.
Okay.
But the issue is that, listen, the club has been run by criminals. The club is in ICU. Have you heard any club activate any lever? The only levers we had were the ones at Abosu Okai and Kokompe. You understand? If a club activates a lever, it is in ICU, intensive care unit. And so if you activate those levers, and you see, what this does is that I don't have a problem if a club wants to solicit for money. You understand? But what this has invariably done is that Barcelona has invariably sold its pride. It sold its pride.
Even if it means to restore the glory days.
Which glory days? I mean, in any case, I think that talking about glory days, that will be moving to section B, you understand? In any case, look at the players they are signing. Who? Rafinha, Lewandowski. You want to activate all of these levers for Rafinha, Lewandowski, Christensen.
Yeah.
Really, if you took away Lewandowski, who is even at the tail end of his career, these players do not necessarily ensure glory. Rafinha, what is his CV? Christensen gets more injured than he plays every now and then. Frankesi, the guy who Milan dispatched. So you see, if you tell me that you're having to go through all of these wahala just to make sure that the club is, I think that it's a big gamble they are taking. Nothing is guaranteed.
What is life without a gamble?
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you would have to take calculated risks. You understand? If you were taking a gamble for A-list players, how would you really have an issue with that? But you take away Lewandowski, really would you struggle to convince me that these players that they are taking all of this gamble for are A-list players? Christensen? Rafinha? No! And you see, there is a big problem at Barcelona. I struggle to see who is in charge. I struggle to see where they want to take the club to. Yes, fans will be excited with all of the names that are flying around. Barcelona have already spent in excess of £130 million in the off-season on transfers.
Yeah.
Fans will be excited, but you'll take a cursory look at the Barcelona team. You take a cursory look at where they are. Look at players. Umtiti. Look at Pukki. You understand? Yeah. Is that the name?
Yeah.
Yes. Look at Chris Brown.
Braithwaite.
Yes. These are players that are prepared to wage battle with the club. You understand? Yeah. Club has already directed them to find new clubs. They're saying, no, you have to pay us what is due us. If you don't pay us what is due us.
On that note, my worry has to do with having activated all of those levers, made in excess of about 600 million euros. Yeah. You've signed a deal with Spotify, bringing in 435 million euros. Actually, and all of that. So my point is that why are you still insisting, or why are Barca still insisting certain players take huge pay cut in wages?
And you see,
are they still broke regardless of all of the monies they've had to rake in?
The Spanish FFP rule is totally different from the European FFP rule. The Spanish FFP rule states...
You see, I do not actually care about the semantics and those things. No, I don't care about it.
That is the reason.
No, because the point is that thing is that you had to activate all of these levers to rake in money. Exactly. So if you raked in all of that money, and then what? You still have to insist on players cutting down their wages. Then what's the point?
It's a broke club. The money they've been able to bring in from all those levers and the deal they signed with Spotify, it's not enough because the club is in huge debt. Now, what they are doing is that you need to balance your books. Last year, Real Madrid were operating on a salary cap space of close to almost.
It's fine.
900
So,
million. You know how much
in
Barcelona
essence, are you
was
telling? So,
operating?
in
Barcelona was
essence, you
operating
think at
98
this point in
million
time, what
euros.
Barca need is what they've had to do?
What Barca need is what they have to do. And right now, going forward, if they need to ensure that we have to create a system where while the season is going on, according to the FFP, while the season is going on, you can still bring in players in January. That's the reason why they need to clear the cap space that already is full with the players that they already have on their books. Now, Rick Puig is gone. The pay is on his way to Juventus. Some of these players will leave. Clement Lenglet is already going. A lot of the players he talks about, they will leave.
The jury definitely would be out there, but we look to find out exactly how things would unfold as to whether they're able to restore their glory days or otherwise. But, Kofi, that's quite intriguing to realize that Barcelona, in spite of all of the levers they've had to activate, are still struggling financially. Where do you think their fate lies in all of this?
Well, I think they are doomed. I think they are doomed. I mean, you can dabble in a lot of semantics, but the truth of the matter is that, listen, I mean, you could look at now, you could look at the future. You talk about 5 years. I think that many people are not casting their eyes into the future. What this leaves them is that it leaves them disadvantaged going into the future. Granted, I want to be hypothetical.
Yeah.
If Real Madrid will also activate those levers, think of what it could do with those levers.
Kofi, do you know? He talks about the future. Do you know that the CVC deal, literally, what Barcelona have done with 6th Street in their BLMs is what La Liga wanted to do with
selling them off, selling them off 25% of what their domestic TV, right?
The CVC deal
for 25 years.
The CVC deal was saying 50 years. It's the reason why Barcelona.
No, you only had to have it. You only had to have it.
Exactly. So if Kofi's sitting here telling us that Barca are selling off their future, but then La Liga was telling Barcelona, sell your future for 50 years, Barcelona said that no, the money you want to give us for our TV right for 50 years.
No, you are not.
Okay, we look
what's the difference?
Again, we look to see how it unfolds as to whether Barca are mortgaging some of their assets in exchange for immediate success remains to be seen. That's it. I mean,
yeah,
that's it. We look to see how it ends. All right.